Next week marks 3 years since Brent's death. So first I want to ask, how are you and how is your family doing?
We're doing good. It'll be 3 years on March 13th. So I think finishing this film is a positive step for me and our family. It's closure.
And why was it important for you to make this film and release it now?
When it happened, I knew that I had to go over to get my brother from Ukraine. And we've covered war zones for 20 years together. And it just seemed like the natural thing to do to pick up a camera and take a camera with me to tell that story. I think it also helped me process and deal with what I had to deal with of bringing my brother back. But mainly I just wanted to honor my brother and just let the world know, how compassionate he was, how good of a filmmaker he was.
It was so poignant getting to see you two growing up, scenes from your childhood in Arkansas, and then hearing Brent reveal that he had autism. So how did he handle having autism and reporting in war zones and some of the most dangerous, chaotic places on earth? My own brother's on the spectrum, and so it's just truly incredible.
Yeah, it's not something that was talked about a lot. He says it in the film. Growing up as kids at that time, it wasn't something that parents were even aware of. It really wasn't something that was discussed until, maybe a year or two before he died was something that he started talking about. But it wasn't something that was front and center for him. It was just something that he was coming to terms with and dealing with.
And who knows who may be inspired in the next generation of filmmakers by him having courage to reveal. You made a point to include and to not hold back images of Brent in the immediate aftermath of his death. Brent in the casket. Why was that important for you to show that?
Yeah, there's a moment in the film where I'm asked by a colleague, Christoph Putzel, who was there filming with me behind the camera. He said, "Why are you doing this?" And it was something that Brent was, believed in, of not shying away from what war does to people and the violence that surrounds it. So I didn't feel like it'd be appropriate for me to do it, to treat it any differently than we would have treated a documentary going to war. It's something that we've always done as verite filmmakers. We're there to report the truth and to capture what we see. And I did want people to realize what happened to my brother. He was ambushed, he was killed by Russian soldiers, and that's the reality of what happened to him. So we didn't want to hold back with this film.
Did you ever, in the years since, have you ever gotten an answer as to why the Russian soldiers opened fire like they did?
Not an exact answer, but, my brother was the first American journalist killed at the beginning of the Ukraine war, but after him, there was many more killed. And it's a problem worldwide that there's been over 100 journalists killed every year since my brother died. And at that time, in Irpin and in the capital, Russian soldiers had just started invading the area and taking over certain areas. And then, they were targeting civilians and targeting journalists. And my brother, I think we underestimated the danger at the time. We'd been to so many different war zones, and Brent was going to focus on people fleeing. It's tragic, but also just a realization of Brent died doing exactly what he set out to do on this earth, which was, tell people stories in a compassionate way.
When people see this, what do you hope they take away?
The impact of war and the importance of journalism right now. I feel like journalism is under attack from many different angles. We have to be able to go into places and report the truth without being a target. So I hope people see this film and see the graphic nature of what happened to my brother and realize how important journalism is, and truth-telling and documentary filmmaking has a big role in that.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment below to let us know your thoughts on this video. And don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Austin Insight for free in the PBS app.